Good afternoon, Mountain Lions Nation. You are listening to another episode of Lionsverse, a weekly podcast taking you inside the athletic department, giving you an opportunity to get to know some of your coaches as well as your fellow student athletes. I'm your host, Holly Stevenson, and with me today I have the head coach for women's volleyball, Chrissy Elder. Coach, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to sit down with me today. How has the start of the season been going for you?
It's been going really well. We honestly, I think we're just kind of taking it day by day, and very happy that we actually got to start the season.
Yeah,
Um, and so yeah, so it's almost like every day is something to be grateful for because we don't know if tomorrow's promised, as cheesy as that sounds. So
right.
yeah, so it's been fantastic having the kids in the gym and getting to compete.
Yeah, absolutely. Still living in weird, unprecedented times, but it seems like everyone has finally kind of made the adjustments. So this season obviously looks a little bit different for you with it being in the spring versus the fall. Has that impacted how you guys have trained or prepared for your season at all?
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
We're treating it like a normal spring. We're training.
Okay.
Um, we're doing a lot of individual training. We're doing a lot of team training, which we normally don't get to do. So
Hmm.
that's very different for us than normal. But um, as much as we want to win the RMAC, we're using this as a really great opportunity to get playing time for a lot of people, to get experience for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, it's also an opportunity for us to learn how to win in the RMAC. So it's
Right.
been a fantastic opportunity just to train and honestly get better.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great approach for the season. Um, is there a big difference for the season in terms of what it looks like for travel or matches or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've been very lucky for the first part of our season to be at home.
Okay.
And we had this weekend off, but since Shadron wasn't able to come last weekend, they're driving back down here. So we get another weekend at home. So
Nice.
yeah, the travel for us has been really great right now.
Hmm.
We don't take super hard trips. We'll go up to South Dakota as long as um, we have negative tests and weather pending.
Right, right.
um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but other than that, I mean, we go to South Dakota. We'll go to Mesa.
Hmm.
Our travel really isn't that bad. We'll have a trip up to Denver, so um, we're not planning to stay overnight often, which
Hmm.
is very different. We're gonna do trips up and trips back, but
Right.
other than that, the travel for us is really not super overwhelming.
That's awesome. That's really good. Do you feel not having some time to like recoup and recover on long drives back? Do you think that's going to affect recovery time for some of your athletes or anything like that?
No, I mean, our sport is very different in the fact that we can play back to back matches. We can play very
Right.
quickly after our recovery time is
Okay.
much shorter than say like basketball where they do a ton of running.
Hmm.
We are very small bursts of energy at a
Hmm.
time, and so our recovery time is very small. Um,
Good.
so so no, I think that them being worn out and us practicing at 6 a.m. is going to take a toll,
Sure.
but um, but other than that, I think the recovery will be okay. And we also, I mean, again, like I said, we're at this point we're just kind of grateful for every day we have. So if we need to take
Yeah.
a day off,
Yeah.
then we'll take the day off because the next day is just an added bonus, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, with an extra season to kind of prepare for this year, has there been a main focus for what your team is training for? Because you mentioned earlier that you're doing a lot of trying to get players a lot of different experience. So, what would you say the main focus for this season is for you?
Our main focus is just to get better every day,
Yeah.
whether it's 0.5% better or 5% better. Their goal is to walk in the gym and make themselves better each day. The
Hmm.
more they do that individually, the better our team's going to get.
Hmm.
Um, our main focus for our team is for the team to get better, and in order for that to happen, everybody has to be ready to go in at any given time. And so that's kind of why we've taken the approach of um, extra playing time,
Yeah.
all that experience for our young kids. We're very, very young. So getting all that experience is only going to make our team grow. So really that's what our focus has been and usually that's what a spring focus is just to get better. Whereas in a traditional championship season, we're focused on winning, and how we
Yeah.
do that. We're doing a lot of teaching.
Cool.
So it's been kind of cool because we also get to do that against the teams that we're going to be competing with next year. So
Yeah.
it's very, very focused skill building.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you guys are taking a really good approach to prepare you for future seasons. So that'll be very exciting to see how the team grows and everything. And speaking on a little bit on that, so a lot the athletes got like a 5th year. Do you have any of your athletes taking advantage, planning on taking advantage of that and being able to kind of stick around and help build the skill set for the younger teammates as they come on?
You know, we again, this is going to sound a little cheesy, but we love this team. Like this team is very special. And I mean that in probably the most flattering ways I can.
Yeah.
About all these girls. And so I hope that they all take that extra year. But I mean, in reality, some of them won't be able to. We'll go by what they need with school and how that looks academically. And we'll start making some of those decisions here in the next couple weeks. But we haven't really pushed anybody. We're at this point, we're trying to give them a chance to see where they fit the next few years, so that if they want to keep that year, they know
Mm-hmm.
kind of what the future is going to look like.
Yeah.
But honestly, and again, cheesy, there's not one kid that I want to see go at this point on this team. Like this is a very special team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, watching, I mean, I've worked quite a few of your guys' matches, and just watching them warm up together, they seem like a very positive bunch. They look very close. So, yeah, I can absolutely understand that, and it seems like the program that you have going for them is a very tight knit, close family
Yeah,
group. So that's
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that um, that credit has to go to them, because the last year, the last full year, that's all they've been working towards. Like this team made a huge commitment last spring to stay together no matter what happened, and it's starting to show. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. And then speaking a little bit on the like your recruits and talent leaving, coming in, what is the biggest factor that you consider when you're scouting for future athletes?
Um, you know, work ethic is huge.
Mm-hmm.
We truly believe, and I don't know many coaches that don't, but we truly believe we can teach them the volleyball skills they would need at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So I really just want somebody that's gonna run through a wall and work their butt off.
Right.
And that honestly is the personality of our team right now.
Yeah.
They work. I mean, we just finished practice. We started at 6 a.m. They're in here at this point every day at 6, and they're working their tail off. So that I think that's the main thing: coachability and work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
We're very fortunate that we only have one senior, and we're hoping she keeps her year. So we
Right.
really haven't. We don't know that we'll bring anybody in
Mm-hmm.
next semester or next
Right.
fall.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to if Josie decides she doesn't want to keep her extra year, but it would
Mm-hmm.
be fantastic if she decided to stay. She's a fantastic leader.
Yeah.
She's a great role model for our younger kids. So um, I'm hoping that I don't have to do any extra recruiting for this next class.
Right. Right. Yeah. Give yourself an extra year for sure. That's awesome. So you've been with this program for, I think this is your 8th season now. Is that correct? Eighth or ninth?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. So can you talk about a little bit on what it was like taking over the program and what made you want to come to UCCS and help build up the program for them?
You know, I think the biggest reason why I was excited to come here is because it was not a clean slate. Like the
Okay.
admin was building fantastic
Yeah.
chemistry throughout all of the programs, but
Mm-hmm.
the volleyball team just seemed like a clean slate. And it was something that we could kind of build together. It's taken a little bit longer than what I would have envisioned, but this team is exactly what we've been looking for the last 8 years. So it's bittersweet because it would have been fantastic for 4 years ago to feel this way.
Yeah,
But all the kids that we've had come through this program have been a part of where we're going right now. So
absolutely.
so it's it's been amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I love this place. I love the state. Um, it's just been kind of cool this past year through
Hmm.
COVID and everybody kind of being up in the air to see this group of kids push through something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bright star in a lot of kind of uncertain and
Oh,
dim
for sure.
things. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
um, if I could have any year for it to be a special year, this would be the year that I would want. With
Yeah.
everything that's happened, this is a
Yeah.
fantastic year to have what we have.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Were there any challenges in particular that you had to that you really chose to overcome, or I guess take head on when you took over the program?
Um, when I got here, our scholarship budget was very small.
Okay.
Um, but it's also a testament to the kids that have been through this program the last 8 years. They've been very dedicated um, in changing the culture, and Nathan Gibson has been extremely dedicated to improving our scholarship budget. And I
Right.
do think that that's a huge reason of why, like at this point, we're where we're at, because a lot of these kids are working for a great education and a great scholarship, and they're putting in a lot of hard work for it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a process, and it's been a testament to the kids that have come before them, because they've
Right.
done it for very little
Yeah.
little reward. um, but these guys are getting to reap those benefits, and it's kind of cool to see, because our admin has done a fantastic job of supporting us and making sure that our kids are taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I really like about, I think, just the UCCS athletic program in general is that they really stress the whole roundabout student athlete. Like they always stress, like you're not just an athlete for the school, you are still a student. And I think Nathan does a really good job at making sure that there is a balance between the two for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you were a collegiate athlete yourself in volleyball. Was coaching always the end game for you? Did you always see yourself coaching volleyball, or just coaching it at a collegiate level?
Yeah, ironically knew when I was 8. I told my mentor, he was like the first person that I had at a camp, the first coach that I had at a camp. And
Uh-huh.
I came home to my mom and was like, I want to coach just like him. Literally when I was 8.
Great.
And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, for the last 30 years, he's been kind of like, nope, you said you want to coach. Nope, you said you want to coach.
Cool.
And been a pretty driving force to that. So yeah, I said this the other night, and it was a little bit of a joke, but the only thing I've ever been good at is volleyball.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, I
so yeah,
understand
and
that
so
feeling.
it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Very cool. So do you still keep in touch with that coach then at that from that camp?
Yeah, funny story. Our freshman middle
Uh-huh.
played club for him
No
and played
way.
high school for my high school coach. So
Amazing.
so yeah, I keep in touch with both of them tremendously still, and that's kind of how we found her, was
Right.
through the two of them. So yeah, that he's, well, my high school coach and my high school club coach are like
Yeah.
second parents to me. So yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yep.
Um, well, it's been awesome to kind of see that development with the team. Like I know I'm still very new to like the program and everything, but like I did some volunteer work before I was a student, and so and like I just feel like every year there has been some sort of progress with the volleyball team, and that's really cool to kind of see that develop over the years and stuff. So you've got a really great program working for you, and that's a testament to you and your mentors, as well as your athletes. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
Final question, and I always like to end it on this just because I was very superstitious as an athlete myself, so I always had like a certain routine for things that I did for the day. So do you have a game day routine, and what does that look like if you do?
Not yes and no.
Mhm.
It's not really a routine, but I uh, it's funny. I live in leggings and sweatshirts year
Mhm.
round.
Yeah.
Mine is game days, and game days are dress up days for me.
Right.
And so I try to take a little bit of extra time, like self care, like for
Yeah.
myself on game days,
Yeah.
to, and this sounds really girly, to feel pretty, to just
Yeah.
be, yeah, to just like, to just get dressed up and
Hmm.
use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but really, there's not a routine. It's just a, what do I need to do today to feel good to walk into the gym?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. Um, we do, as a staff, we do certain things like pre-game after the national anthem and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
I don't know if it's superstition or just routine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sitting down to chat with me today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your morning to just kind of let us on the inside of the program that you've helped create. Um, Mountain Lions, join me next week as we sit down for another episode of Lionsverse, and we're actually going to be sitting down with the athletic director, Nathan Gibson. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Coach.